Let's talk about positioning your business. And I'm going to do this by giving you a quick economics lesson. Don't worry, there is absolutely no math involved. It focuses on how markets work. So every marketplace, there's a certain amount of sales that will be done in that marketplace. And those sales get broken up between all the different competitors. The thing that ends up happening is that in virtually every market, most of the sales go to just a few of the competitors. So if I take the number of sales and graph it by the number of competitors, this is the closest math you're going to get in all this. What ends up happening is that just a few competitors make up most of the sales that are in the marketplace. Everybody else is left to fight over the few sales that are left by the competitors not fulfilling their needs. This is the core of understanding how to build your business, is you need to position your business so that you can be one of these few, not one of these many. Let's talk about how in a world where very few competitors get most of the sales in any given marketplace. I'm having card problems today. Which ones are they? This is where the positioning part comes in. The people who are in that small group of competitors who get most of the sales in the marketplace are the ones who have the right target market. In other words, they're able to talk to a specific group of people in a way that that group of people says, this person gets me, this person, this company, this whatever gets me and understands how best to fulfill my particular set of needs. And that's your right target market. The next is they come into it with the right promise and the right messaging. So not only do they get them, but they also talk to them in a way that causes them to see themselves, see their lives, their businesses, their whatever, improving as a result of buying that product. So you're talking benefits, not features. You're talking about transformations, not a list of everything that's in your product. Next, these are the people who have the right differentiation, who are coming in and saying, here is why I am different than my competitors. Because what happens is if you're not differentiated, then you're just like everyone else and you're down in that tail of everyone's competing for a very few sales. Next, they've got the right pricing. Not too high, not too low. Right in the right peak of the pricing. We'll talk about this in another video. Next, they've got the right product that when people buy that product, they're absolutely served by it. They love it and they tell everybody about it so that everybody else wants to join. That gives you the free marketing because the right visibility is the next piece. You've got to be the company that gets the optimized amount of visibility without it costing you too much. And ideally, that visibility is coming naturally because you're the best company out there. So your mission here is to get it right. Get each one of those things right in your business. And the key is when you do that, you get the bulk of the sales. So let's go back to our graph for a minute. If you don't have the right of all those things, you're out here competing. So this might be 1 million sales. This out here might be 10,000 sales, and you and 1,000 other companies are competing for 10,000 sales, which means by definition, if you divide those up, each one of you gets 10 sales. There's 1 million sales out here that are being divided between 1 and 3 companies. Wouldn't you rather be one of them? So let's go back to that list for just a moment. Because most people never really delve deep in this. What is your right target market? This means you have to make choices. You have to throw out people. You have to sacrifice sales to the general market to get sales from the specific market. And I guarantee you that those sales from the specific market will be significantly higher than the general market. Why? Because you're fulfilling their particular set of needs. Next, you've got the right promise and the right messaging because you're talking to them in language that they can hear, giving them promises that they need in their life and that they know that they need in their life and that they want to have in their life, so they're willing to pay you money to get it. Next, they have the right differentiation. They have clearly said, this is why I'm different than everybody else. And when you do this, what ends up happening is you've made a choice. I'm going to be the very best at this, which means I can't be the best at all those other things. So something has to give. And so it might be that the thing that gives is you can't be the best product and the best price. Okay, so I drive Toyotas. 2 reasons. Number one, they're designed for people with long legs. People don't have long legs don't understand that. But more importantly, they are absolutely reliable. Now, are they the cheapest car on the market? No, I can go buy a cheaper car. But I want a car that I can get in and drive for years without having to worry about it. They went for reliability. Ironically, years ago, they were far from the most reliable. They focused on that. They became the most reliable. That's their differentiation. Everyone knows it. And so consequently, they don't have to be the cheapest price. They don't have to be the fanciest body. They don't have to have all the fancy features in there because they're the most reliable. They chose something, they differentiated on it, and as a result, they are able to succeed, and they succeed like crazy. Right pricing. Not too high, not too low. You hit that sweet spot just at the right point to get the bulk of your sales. All right. Next, they have the right product so that when people buy it, they love it. They talk about it to everybody else. You get word of mouth, and you get that right product actually propels your visibility because the best companies out there have the right amount of visibility, not the expensive kind of visibility. They've got a huge amount of visibility that costs them very little to get, so that they get their message in front of the right people. Now, here's the thing. Everything I just talked about is strategy. And the problem is that most people spend very little time thinking about their strategy. They spend all their time thinking about, how can I sell more or whatever, when in reality, you'll sell more by figuring out the right things of all those other things. So spend some time doing strategy. As you're thinking about what you're going to do in the future, as you do your strategic planning, focus on these strategic elements consciously and intentionally. And as you do, you will achieve more success because this is the key to going from 6 figures to 7 figures in your business. And if you're not at 6 figures yet, that's even better because if you can do these things and figure these things out early, you'll get to 6 figures faster, and you'll definitely get to 7 figures and 8 and 9 coming right from there. So you got to get it right. And the more time and effort you spend on getting it right, the better off you'll be. As long as that struggle to get it right doesn't cause you to do nothing because you're afraid. It's better to do something, get it out there, and measure it, look at how it did, determine if it's right, determine how to improve it, and then you can go from there. That right there is the key to go from 6 figures to 7 figures. Get those things right so you can get that bulk of the market, not be out here competing with all the other companies for a very small segment of the market that's left over from the big competitors that left it over for you. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.